What's up, everybody? It is Omega from Omega's Gaming. Back at it again with another ESO video. We're revisiting the Sorcerer today for PvP. Been playing a lot of Sorcerer recently, trying to get better at it. It is a really badass class. I think I found, honestly, the best way for anyone to play Sorcerer. So let's go ahead and start off with what gear I decided to wear. I am in Cyrodiil right now, so our first five piece is going to be what everybody else is using, Shackle Breaker. I don't usually like to use the same stuff that everybody else uses, but Shackle Breaker is undeniably fantastic and it's craftable. So you could do your 5 1 and 1 very easily this way. And the way that I do it is I have a heavy chest and medium legs infused. Then I have the waist, feet, and gloves in pen. I'm using a Maelstrom Inferno staff on my attack bar and a defending Maelstrom Restoration staff on my back bar with the weapon and spell damage enchant. The other 5 piece that I'm using is Alteration Master. Now I know Lich is the preferred set of choice for Magic Sorcerer, but this honestly outperforms Lich. It outperforms Bloodthorn. It's a very underrated set. It also comes in gold jewelry, but it's a very underrated set. You get crazy, crazy sustain with this and a decent amount of regen as well. And I'm using the head and shoulders, 1 divines, and then the rest infuse. I actually do want to change. I'm not really a big fan of in-pen on sorcerers, and I don't really have that much anyways. Once I get enough gold, I'm going to change my small pieces are all going to be divines, and then my heavy and medium will be, the 3 infused, the rest divines. That's what I want. Especially since next patch, we'll be getting the buff to Mundus Stones, and I am running the Atronach for the recovery. So wearing all divines with that buff, I'll probably be right at like 2k with this setup, with the way like everything stacks. Food wise, I'm using the health and magica potion. I'm not using the potent witch mother's brew, because even though I only have 1738 recovery, like people think that's low, but it's actually really good. I'm also getting 6% cost reduction on all of my abilities, and that does include my ultimates. So if you look at my ultimate, Meteor only costs 158 ultimate. That is nothing. I get meteors left and right. And using the Resto ult, it's 79. I mean, it is up all the time. So while we're here, we'll go ahead and use, we'll go through our skills. I'm using Dampen Magic, Harden Ward, Healing Ward, Inner Light, Degeneration, Healing Ult. I don't have any attack on this back bar. This is purely a defending bar. I mean, I guess this is kind of considered an attack, but I just use it to buff everything up. But the reason I use Dampen is because I am wearing a lot of light armor, and it does give me a much bigger shield. Same thing with Harden, gives you a bigger shield versus the other one. So I'm trying to get big shields. With my shields on, those 2 shields give me a 20k shield, 24 if I pop my third. And the lower your health is, the bigger the healing ward shield is. So you end up getting some pretty huge shields out of this as well. On my attack bar, I have Crushing Shock for the Interrupt. I have the Crystal Frag, obviously, for death to death and more death. Endless Fury, Inner Light, and Haunting Curse, and Meteor. I do double bar Inner Light because this gives me more damage on this bar. Inner Light gives me more defense on that bar. So it's definitely the way to go. Getting into my champion points, I did change my champion points a bit from dueling and doing different things. I realized I was missing some stuff to be really good at open world. I had a lot into Elfborn, and I was getting some crazy crits on my Crystal Frag, but I needed to change that up a bit. So I just have 10% into Elfborn. Now I'm getting 14% out of Elemental Expert, 72% out of Master Arms, and here's where my big change was at. I got 15% into Shattering Blows, especially when it comes to other sorcerers, because sorcerers can battle forever. I didn't have anything into this, and whenever people would put up shields, I just could not damage them unless I could randomly get them down and not have a shield. I just couldn't hurt them. And if you're going against someone who's a seasoned Sorc player, it's really hard to get their shields down if you're not doing a lot of damage to them. So this right here has made it to where I can just melt shields, and it does a huge amount. It's a huge difference. This is super important to wear in open world, especially since magic classes are going ham right now. Nothing in the ritual. I put 51 into Ironclad. It's a lot more than usual. I usually had 10% in here. This has made a huge difference damage wise. Pretty much everything is considered direct damage. So this is the major one you want to pump everything into. I'm still getting 8% out of these, and then 10 out of that. These actually do go with your shields too, so this is less damage on your shields from all of these sources as well. So, and then shields, I have 72 for the 23%, so I have the bigger shields, but this does go along with your shields, so they take less damage this way, so your shields are a little bit harder to get rid of. Siphoner, this is very underestimated. 5.7% isn't a lot, but if someone doesn't know how to manage their magic or they're not running a lot of recovery, this is going to be a pain for them. So this has really helped me out in open world and duels and things like that. 10% of break free because CC is the name of the game. I know diminished returns and things like that, but I'm trying to get my recovery as high as possible, and I'm fine with where everything else is at. Tenacity, 10% more for your heavy attacks, and then another 10% for the dodge rolling. Now, besides that, I don't really have anything to buff up on for the most part, but I mean, not buffed at all. Crystal Frag is at 14, and then you've got your entropy, which will buff that up, and your procking it for the extra 10%, and then your inner light for another 20%. So I think it gets up to like 19 or 20,000 for my Crystal Frag. It makes a huge difference. Right now we're 39,000 max Magicka, 17 recovery, 20k health, 11k stamina, which is plenty, 2300 unbuffed, 10k penetration, Atronach, health. So all in all, this is really good. I haven't morphed Meteor, and I haven't morphed this yet because I'm just still working on them, and this is still getting worked on too. But for the most part, it's done. Besides golding everything out, I don't have problem with sustain on this build whatsoever or damage. It's really a jack of all trades. And once I switch everything to divines, since I don't really have a lot of crit resist anyways, I'm not really worried about that 747. Once I get rid of that and switch to divines, that's going to kick this up. 4 pieces of divines will kick this up to almost 2k. And then when you get the Atronach buff next patch, I could probably get up to about 2.2k with all of the same stats, plus the 6% cost reduction. So the damage, and you will never run out of anything. So hopefully you guys try this out and tell me what you think. I highly recommend you try this and jump on this bandwagon, because eventually someone is going to agree with me that matters, that Alteration Mastery is a beast, and these rings are already like 72k for the gold ones, but I can see them getting into the couple 100,000s once people realize what's going on. So it'll take some time, but this next patch, I really think that people are going to catch on to this. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Any questions or things like that, I'm slowly building videos on in PvP with this setup. It just takes a little bit of time, so I'll eventually have that stuff out, and I do stream every day that I'm not at work. So if you get a chance, come visit me. All right, have a good day.